Hey, what is up guys? Adaptations here, and today I've got a loot video from 2,233 Rune Dragons. I've been looking forward to doing this video for a long time, and as you may know, I decided to liquidate my bank, except for the Rune Dragon gear, and dedicate myself to camping here until I had enough for a Twisted Bow. I figured if I'm going to camp these, I might as well save the drops and make a loot video, right? As always, if you enjoy the videos, please give it a like as it helps push my video to more people, and subscribe if you think I'm worth it and want to keep up with future account updates or watch future videos of mine. I will also have links down below to my Twitch and other social medias if you're interested in following me on there. I tend to stream 2 to 3 times a week, and as we get more followers and viewers, I think I'll try to up that as much as I can. Anyway though, let's go ahead and get right into the video. On screen now, you'll see my inventory and gear setup that I used during the entire video here. It is a bit of a mix of defense and DPS gear, and I think this is the best setup I've found for myself. I've seen people recommend a Fury for the defense bonus or a Defender for the offense bonus, but with this gear, almost every trip I end up with a full inventory and end up getting like 10 to 14 kill trips. Whichever gear you end up using, you definitely need insulated boots while killing these, as these help protect you from the lightning that they do quite frequently. My method of getting there was using a mounted dig site pendant in my house. If you don't have the Lithcron option, then you can just use the necklace on the strange machine here, and it'll add the option to your dig site pendant. I highly recommend this, as this lets you teleport straight to the dragons almost. Once I was done with my trip and had a full inventory, I would just teleport to my house with a tablet, and then use my jewelry box to go to the GE. I didn't use the con cape or the max cape, because sometimes these dragons can combo you quite hard, and make your day a little worse if you end up dying if you're not paying attention. So just using one click seemed like a better choice to me. So before starting this grind, I bought some anglers, prey pots, anti-fire pots, and super divine combat potions, then turned the rest of my gold stack into platinum tokens. I did this because, as you may know, the Rune Dragons drop a lot of alchables, and sometimes you have to alch so that you have room for more loot from the dragons. So in the final price check, that'll be the actual GP value that I made, as the supply cost will have already been deducted. I tried to get rid of the rune items that dropped in the same quantity, so I'd sell 5 or 6 of all of them, for example, in order to buy more supplies if needed. The only thing I sold all of every time I needed more supplies was the bones, because let's be honest, when you're killing these, you probably won't be picking up many, if at all anyway. I think maybe I'll try to turn this into a bit of a series, killing dragons. Hopefully that motivates me to kill KBD and Vorkath more so I can try to get their pets, but we'll see. Before starting this video, I didn't have any D-limb drops, and I was around 1,700 kills, so it was a little surprising that I hadn't received a drop, as the D-limbs are only about 1 in 800 from here, but that's just how RNG goes sometimes, I suppose. Sometimes you get lucky, and sometimes you go dry. As you'll see on screen though, I did end up getting a limb drop around 100 kills in, so that was really neat. But then I guess Jagex decided to bless me with a rarer drop, so about 100 kills later, I actually ended up getting the Draconic Visage. This is the first Visage I've gotten in Old School on this account, and the only other Visage I have received in Old School was on my Wyvern ult, from, you guessed it, Wyverns. So that was a really cool drop to see indeed. On the same day, about 3 trips or so later, I ended up getting another pair of D-limbs, which is pretty sick. I really didn't expect to get too many of these, considering how dry I was before starting this video, but, you know, I guess the YouTuber luck finally kicked in now that I was recording, right? We were not done there, however, because around 1,400 kills after that, we picked up a third pair of D-limbs. My clips for this ended up being kind of corrupted, but I do have a screenshot of them. Kind of unfortunate that they are so cheap now, and not the 8mm plus that they were in Mr. No Sleep's video when he uploaded about 2 years ago. But when you're late to the train like I am, you have to kind of expect that. I'm really starting to think that there might be something to this YouTuber streamer luck though, because getting 3 drops and under 300 kills after being so dry just feels suspicious, I guess. Alright though, let's go right ahead and just do the final price check now. So I ended up killing 2,233 Rune Dragons and received 5 total pairs of D-limbs, as well as a Draconic Visage. RuneLight says the loot is worth 75 mil, and I originally had a clip here of me price checking the loot, but realized a couple hours later that I forgot some of the loot, so unfortunately I don't have the full video of me selling everything off. I can tell you that the loot price was pretty accurate. The loot that you see is after rebuying the supplies I used, so this is the actual net profit that I made while doing this. I was getting a little over 50 kills an hour, so if you divide by 2,233 by 52, it took me around 43 hours to make the money, and that ends up averaging out to around 1.74 mil an hour. Now, this was before Jagex started talking about the nerfs to the blowpipe. So when I was doing this, this money was not as good as going to Zulrah, for example. But since they talked about nerfing the blowpipe, I think this is actually pretty comparable for most people. Considering that I now have a twisted bow, I can make a little more than that still. I think it's still about 3 mil an hour, even though the scales are just absolutely in the toilet now. But you get my point anyway. But looks like that's where we're going to go ahead and leave the video. So like I said earlier, if you guys enjoyed the video, enjoyed the content, you like seeing the loot, just be sure to let me know down in the comments. Give me a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of my videos, just make sure you subscribe. Bye.